If they had an Instagram account, I was comparing myself to their life. Why are we even putting likes on our photos in the first place? It was so toxic. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jasmine, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be telling my story of how I gave up social media for over 2.5 years and how it changed my life for the better. So I gave up social media the summer going into my senior year of high school, and now I am going into my junior year of college. It's been a while. I decided to delete Instagram. I did end up keeping Snapchat solely because I had French foreign exchange students that came and lived with me, and I wanted to keep in touch with them, but I didn't post on my story, didn't watch stories, didn't watch the little news articles that aren't news. So why did I decide that I needed to give up Instagram? Why was it such a negative part of my life? Hell, there are lots of reasons, and I wrote some of them down. So if you see me looking down, that is why. So first off, I guess the most basic, right, the reason not a lot of people give up social media, I began comparing my life to literally everyone's life. People that I knew, people that I didn't know, people from elementary school that I hadn't talked to since elementary school when I moved, celebrities. If they had an Instagram account, I was comparing myself to their life, completely irrationally. My life wasn't as fun. I wasn't as pretty. I didn't have as good clothes. It was horrible, and I was in such a horrible place mentally. I would go on Instagram and I would go on for hours and just scroll and just start getting more and more depressed, and I would get off and I wouldn't feel happier. I would feel worse about everything. So in addition to constantly comparing myself to literally everyone, I think this was towards either the end of middle school or the very beginning of high school, my friends and I got apps. I feel like they were pretty popular back then. People were either obsessed with their followers or their likes. I was obsessed with my likes. We would get these apps and we'd post a picture and then we would add likes to it. You would go on the app and you would just like a bunch of photos, and then you would get likes from liking those photos, and so then those likes you could put towards any of your photos. I remember one time I was with one of my friends and we had decided to both post a picture, and we decided to post it at the same time. We were like, oh my gosh, this will be so cute. I don't know, we just thought it was the best idea. Then we decided to add likes to it, and I remember she accidentally added 60 or 70 likes to her photo, which was you had to make the likes look realistic, right? So you didn't want to be oh, I was getting 40 likes and now all of a sudden I'm getting 150. Everybody would know you were using the app, right? You had to be tasteful about it. So she added 60 likes or something to her photo on accident, and she was like, oh my god, I can't believe I did this. I have to delete the photo now. And I was like, I mean, yeah, you have to. In my brain, that was it made sense. Obviously you can't have people knowing that you're using this app. You have to delete the photo now. It just makes sense now. How messed up is that? We're 15, and that's what we're thinking about. That's how we measure our wealth, is whether or not people know we're putting likes on our photos, which, why are we even putting likes on our photos in the first place? It's just it was so toxic. So then another thing that I noticed myself doing was I would post a picture, right? And I would get all these likes, and I would feel so confident. I'd be like, wow, 150 people like me or like my photo, and I would get all these comments and people are saying you're so pretty and blah blah blah. Obviously it just boosts your confidence when you're getting instant validation that you are what you want to be. And then I would go to all my friends' profiles and I would just look at all of their photos and see how many likes they were getting and then I would compare that to how many likes I got on my photo. And if the likes that I got on my photo were less, then my day was ruined. Even though I just got 150 likes and 20 comments saying, "You're so pretty," or "I love that photo so much," because one of my friends got 170 on their photo and 25 comments, now my photo was invalidated. And all of those likes, all of those comments didn't mean anything because I wasn't getting as much as her. Or I would look and I would see that my friend got less. And so then all of a sudden now I feel better about myself. Why do I feel better about myself? That's horrible. Why would that make me feel better about myself? And that was how I was feeling about every single post. It was so toxic. Hey guys, so I was editing this and I realized I left out the last point that I wanted to make about why I gave up social media. And that is that I hated the way I felt when I would go out with a group and somebody wasn't invited, and I would tell them, like, maybe we don't have to post about this time, like, because I know they're gonna feel excluded, and everybody would still post. And I know from personal experience, because I was the person that was excluded sometimes, that it sucks. It sucks to see all your friends doing something fun and you weren't invited. And I just didn't want to be a part of that anymore. So that was when, junior year, I just decided that this was just not for me. On to what I learned from this experience and from giving up social media for 2.5 years. The very first thing that I learned from giving up social media were who my real friends were. And this was, 3 years ago, so you have to think times are different. I went back on social media just recently, started looking just because I was curious, and now people are getting like 400, 500 likes on their photos, like average people. What? It's a little insane to me, but okay. Anyways, so before I was getting over 100 likes on my photos, I was getting, like 30 some comments. All these people were saying like these nice things about me or whatever, and I just felt like I had so many friends, I had a lot of people that knew me who chose to like my photo, right? They liked me enough to choose to do that. And I found my own self-validation through that, so that meant a lot to me. And when I gave up social media, I was expecting all of those people to still be in my life, right? To still be a part of it. Newsflash, they aren't, and they won't be. And so my friend group, it really condensed. Senior year, I really didn't have as many friends as I did all my other years. And in a way, that was because I had finally just been done with the BS. My list of people that I would consider my friends just dropped dramatically. So the second thing that happened when I gave up social media is I was able to focus in and accomplish the things that I wanted to do. I had so many goals for myself. Senior year of high school, I had started color guard. I was able to focus on my grades even though I was doing so many things. I was in dance. I now had a boyfriend, and I was still trying to maintain a semblance of a social life and sleep and, have time to eat and do homework. And I was taking 4 or 5 AP classes along with orchestra, and the advanced orchestra and the color guard class were both 7th period, so I was literally taking 8 classes even though there's only offered 7 during a semester, and they made an exception for me because I'm insane. So there's that. But because I gave up social media, I wasn't wasting, hours of the day procrastinating and being on this app, where instead I could, focus and do homework and do things that I needed to do and get done. And I ended up ending the school year as salutatorian. So that was such an accomplishment, and I was able to do it, and I owe a great deal of that to giving up social media. All right, I'm gonna try and hurry this up because this is a long video right now. The third thing that I accomplished from giving up social media was the ability to do things that I wanted to do. Like I have said a couple times, I would spend hours on social media. I would wake up, I'd go on social media. I would, go to bed, spend 2 hours on social media. I was just wasting away my life on social media. And when I gave it up, I was finally able to do the things that I had enjoyed for so long, like reading and hanging out with my friends and doing things that gave me enjoyment, as opposed to spending hours on an app that sapped at my energy and made me feel inadequate. The fourth thing that I learned from giving up social media was it gave me the ability to become comfortable with being alone in a public setting. And I say that because I've always been able to be alone in like my room or something. I definitely like my alone time. So in that aspect, I didn't really change much. But in the ability to go into a crowded room and be completely fine and not have to go on my phone because I feel awkward or I don't know what to do, it was so eye-opening. Freshman year of college, I didn't know like anyone aside from my roommate who I literally met the day that we moved in because the college messed up and didn't tell me I had a roommate. It's fine. I was like, maybe I have a single. It's like, but I love my roommate, so it's all good. But yeah, I didn't know anybody because I had moved from Texas to Virginia. Kind of a big distance. There were so many times when I would be alone in the dining hall or wherever, and I would look around and I would see everybody else who was alone on their phone or, with headphones in or whatever, and I would just sit there and I would like people watch and I would think about things. I became more introspective and I just became comfortable with sitting alone at a table for lunch or for dinner. And before, that would have given me so much anxiety. And it still gave me a little bit of anxiety, but I was able to do that without feeling like I needed to go on my phone right now or I'm gonna die because, oh my god, everyone's gonna know that I have no friends and I'm sitting here alone. No, I would just be there and I'd be like, so Jasmine, what are we gonna think about today? The fifth and final thing that I have learned from social media, or from the lack thereof, is confidence. So I learned so much. To start off, I'm gonna be honest, giving up social media did not instantly give me a bunch of confidence. If anything, I lacked confidence afterwards. Senior year, I had confidence because I had a boyfriend, and so, when you have a boyfriend or a significant other, you should be at least be getting, constant validation from them that like they love you, that they value you, and that they think that you're pretty, or that they think that you are like worthy of love, right? And so senior year, I didn't really have that much of like an identity/confidence crisis. It wasn't until freshman year of college that I was really like, wow, you have not that much confidence. And then I will always remember this moment because it kind of changed my life for the worse. But I was talking to this girl, I don't remember who it was, but I was talking to this girl and she made a comment along the lines of like, oh yeah, well like average girls like us, we're not as pretty as them, but like it's okay. And I was like, average girls like us? That shook me to the core. I thought about that for like months afterwards. I was like, wow, I'm not a pretty girl. Like when you look at me, you're not like, wow, she's like gorgeous, right? But like growing up, why did I have so much confidence? Like why did I believe that? I was like, no, I am. Like who is she? Can I be her again? Because Like, my confidence after that comment went like, and then I realized, I had an epiphany one day, right? I was like, how is it that I was so mentally degrading to myself when I had social media, but now that I don't, I'm less confident? Like, how does that make sense, right? It's not equaling out. And then I realized it's because with social media, you get instant validation. You get instant validation that you have friends, that you have people that think you're pretty, that you have, people that like you. And without that, back in the day, you just had to do that on your own. You just had to, know that you are pretty, or that you have friends, or that you are liked, or that you are a good person. And you don't get the instant validation that social media creates, telling you all of these things, reaffirming them in your head. And so, yeah, you're not going to feel as confident because you're not getting told every day by hundreds of people that you are worth it. You're getting told by maybe 3 or 4, once a month, that you are. And so what I realized is that I have to believe in myself. And that was a big thing for me, because when I realized that confidence is from within, that's when I became confident again. When I began working out again and eating healthier and feeling better physically, I was able to look around and say, maybe I'm doing better mentally as well. And I think that it's 100% a healthier confidence you end up getting back. So I have decided to go back on social media, mostly because I want to grow my YouTube channel, and I do have a following on there, a small one, because I've been off of it for so long. I think it's time. I have grown as a person so much. I've found my likes and my dislikes and my interests, and I'm starting to do the things that I have wanted to do for so long, like, for example, this YouTube channel. And so I think that I'm now in a much healthier mental and physical state, and that the things that I'm going to be pushing out on my Instagram are going to be so much healthier for me. So I'm super excited. My best friend is coming up to visit me in 3 weeks, and we're gonna go take some bomb pictures. And so yeah, look out for that, because I will be posting soon. I know have been so long. It'll be 3 years. My last post was in the summer of 2017. But I'm really excited, and I now have the self-confidence to post these pictures for myself. Hopefully it goes well. But yeah, that's all. If you are waiting for a sign to get rid of your social media, even if it's just for a couple weeks or a month, please do it, because it has taught me so much, and I've grown so much as a person. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you maybe learned a little bit, or you got the confidence you need to take a break from social media, or to just look at social media in a new light. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you very soon.